So yesterday we have seen this, right? That we know what is the just let me open the. Can you guys see my screen? Yesterday we saw that we have designed the tables like with employee table, department table and all, right? And we have identified few columns also. Now whenever I want to create any table or anything, the next question comes, the next question, immediate question would be like, what would be the column data type? For example, let's say we have an employee table, right? We have an employee table, and in that employee table we have employee ID. What kind of data I want to store in this employee ID? Is it integer or characters or a date? Like that, we in any programming language we will have few predefined data types that are being defined. Similarly, in MySQL also there are few predefined data types that are defined. That is, they are int, varchar, date. But now we'll consider only these three. Int is used to store the integers, varchar is used to store the string literals, and date is used to store the date type. Okay, so now we'll go back to that example, and then we'll create a table today. Okay, so for creating any table, we will start with writing a query called create table, and we need to give a name. Yeah, correct. You should open the workbench. You will write the queries in the. Okay, before going there, has everybody installed the workbench? Let me close this and reopen the workbench. If you open the workbench, if you have the SQL installed, click on this plus button and it will automatically identify the SQL server that is running in your machine. And you should be able to see this small rectangle kind of thing pre-filled. Can everybody see that?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So once you click on this, right, so it will generally it will ask you to enter the password. The password, there you need to enter the password that you have created while creating the SQL server. If you guys remember, you might have given the password and confirm passwords in one of the screens. In that document which I have shared with you also, I clearly mentioned to note down, keep a note of that password. So you need to enter that password there. Once you enter that password, the SQL workbench will open like this. Can everybody see the same thing? Or is anybody facing any issues?
When I click that plus button, like I'm getting set up new connection name.
Can you share your screen? I'll stop sharing.
Yeah.
Madhu, others, others, you all can see that, right? Okay, we'll see that.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
So yeah, when
oh, it is not. No, you do a cancel here.
What?
You do cancel that. This.
I should get cancel here.
Yeah, click on that cancel. We are not setting up any new connection. Just click on that rectangle box, local instance MySQL 80.
Okay.
Click on that. It will open the SQL editor. Here you need to enter that password, that whatever you have given, right?
Okay.
And click on that save password in Vault so that it will not ask for that password again and again.
Okay. I just gave this plus symbol. I didn't click on this.
Yeah.
Okay, continue anyway.
Madhu, you also
Yeah,
did.
I got it. Okay, thank you.
So I hope everybody can open it, the same thing. Right? Let me share my screen now.
Okay.
We'll write it away.
Thank you.
No problem. Can you guys see my screen? Yeah. So now, whenever you are trying to create any table, we need to have the name, right? So the first thing is that the syntax says that we need to say create table and table name. I'll say that employee underscore details. Okay. No, you can directly click on that query one and can open that. What do you mean by, I didn't get your question actually. You can directly type in here, Madhu. That's what I meant. So employee ID, and then what is my first, we'll say employee name, right? EMP underscore name. What will be the type of this employee name? We know there are types like int, varchar, and int. Name cannot be in integers, right? It should be varchar, right? It is not employee ID. It is employee name. So it should be varchar. Yeah, sure. Let me close this one. SQL workbench. I'm not able to click these three buttons for some reason. Yeah, that's not this time. So this has, how do I increase the view? The font, I need to increase this. It has become very small. Let me open a new worksheet. So, SQL create table employee underscore details, and then I'll start entering the column names, right? So the first one we thought of entering it as emp underscore name varchar, right? It is varchar. Then I need to specify the length of that particular column. How many characters that this employee name should hold. Let's say I want to enter it as 20 characters. I don't know what is happening. It's right. Just a second, guys. I'm not sure why it's not behaving like this. Huh? Maybe some button is getting pressed or something. Is the font here? Okay, let me write it in Notepad, then we'll see that. And this. I'm really sorry, I'm facing some issue. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not able to type anything. Just give me a second. I'll just restart my machine and then we'll connect back. Okay, just give me 2 minutes. I'm back. I'm sharing my screen again. You see this now. Okay. Once I create, can you all see my screen, right? And once we create that, give the details like what type of data it is, we will end it with comma. And then I'll say employee underscore phone number. What it would be in int, right? Generally, we can give it as varchar also if you want to give it with the country code and all. But so I'll just give it as varchar. of let's say 20 characters. Now comes the important thing, like we have defined the primary key, right, called employee ID. So how will I define this employee ID? So for defining the employee ID as the primary key, we need to give something like employee ID. It cannot be null, right? So not null, comma, not null, and then I don't want to create this every time. Meaning I don't want to insert the employee ID manually. So I want it to be automatically created. Then there is a concept called as auto incrementer. Auto underscore incrementer. Now employee ID type I haven't given. That's why it is giving an error there. I can give it as int. Is this clear? So I am telling that this employee ID table is not null and it should be auto incremented, meaning you need not manually insert the value for this employee ID, but the system, the database will automatically increment the value. Meaning, for example, if you have the maximum employee ID as 100, then whenever you do the next insertion, it will be automatically incremented to 101. Correct. Whenever you add a new row to the database, the value will be incremented by 1. No, for integer you need not specify the length. No. It depends on the system configuration, like 2 power 64 minus 1, something like that. It depends on the system length. How many bits your system can support based on that system. That's why if you download on Windows, you will see like 32-bit, 64-bit like that, right? If your system is a 64-bit, I believe it should be 2 power 64 minus 1. That's the maximum length of integer that you can store in that column. But now till now, have we mentioned anywhere primary key? We are just mentioning it not null, right? Not null and primary keys are different. They are not same. So we need to specify that what is the primary key. So for that, in the last, we need to say primary key of what is the primary key column, emp underscore id, right? So this is how we'll create the table. Now, if you look at the syntax, create table, table name, column name, and type. Column name and type. For primary key, we'll just say auto increment if you want to use auto increment. Otherwise, if you want to programmatically insert, you need not write this auto increment. Then it will not automatically increment the value. You just need to mention that, int, and then say primary key. What is the primary key for this particular table? Is this clear? No, they are not. You can write it in both capitals and small letters. They are not case sensitive as such. If I execute this table, right? No database is selected. So I need to use say. So you have this. So here we are trying to create a table, but we know that one database can have multiple schemas, right? So here, if you look at the left-hand side, I have sys schema and the world schema. So that's why it is saying it doesn't. It is. I don't know where to create this table. So tell me where to create. That's what the error says. So we need to specify in which schema that this particular table need to be created. Are you guys with me or not? Any question? can add schemas too, but we'll not go there. If for now you consider that I want to use the world schema available and I want to create this table under this world schema. What is a schema? It is a group of tables, views, stored procedures, functions, so on and so forth. Okay. So I want to create a table in this world. So I'll just say use database, or I can just say world dot employee detail. So this table will be created in the world schema. If you see here, this is green color is there, right? You see that the table got created. If I go here and say refresh, refresh all, you should see the table, employee details table. Right? Let me ping the syntax in the chat so that you guys can refer this. Unless they are pinned messages and all. I don't know. I am not able to send this. Can anybody ping hi in this chat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shall we do this by ourselves?
Yeah, you can do it by yourself, but just for the reference, I'm just pasting it. Don't use the same thing, but create an employee table with the other columns also. Okay. We have email,
Name, phone number, ID, and email.
Email. So add other columns also and create the table. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes so you can use this create screen template, and then you can create the table yourselves. I'll just check that. I'll randomly pick 1 or 2 people and will ask them to share the screen. I want to see, apart from these, I want to see the email column and one more column. What is it? Date of joining. And details will go there next. For now, we just create it with date, email
Date
and
of joining. We shall give date as like data type.
Data type as date.
Date. Only date.
Only date. Just like int, right? It is date.
So we need employee email ID, date of joining, and bank details also.
No, bank details you ignore for now.
Okay, so only email ID and date of joining.
Correct. No, let me reiterate. I have pasted the script there, right? In that, copy that script and add the date of joining and email fields to that particular table. Is that clear? Or if you want to create the table by yourself, that's also fine. Maybe, can you share your screen? You cannot. You'll definitely have one or the other schema if you have the database MySQL. At least you should have this schema, if not world. Yeah.
How should I select the database? It is telling database is not selected.
If you look at the script I have pasted, before the table name, I have given the schema name, world dot.
Yeah, but then also it is giving. I'll just.
Maybe we'll see one after one. First
Okay.
we'll see. You try sys dot. Kartika.
Okay.
Schemas, you don't have any. No connection is established. Can you go to database? Click on that database. A new connection. Here, default schema to use. You type it as sys.
Yeah, actually, this is what I'm also getting.
Yeah, we'll see. And say okay. Copy the script to that particular worksheet, new worksheet. Now modify this table and try executing it. If it doesn't work, we'll create a schema and we'll see. Now execute this. Oh, it's saying server may not be running. If you look at the action out the below thing, right? The unable to connect to localhost. The server may not be running. So you need to start the server. Go to your programs. SQL Server 8.3. SQL Server Manager Studio Management Studio. You click on that. Open that. Otherwise, the another way is that you can go to Windows R and say services.msc. It will be deployed as a service. So services.msc, and there under services you will find SQL Server Service. Because MBSR was not found, reinstalling the program may fix. Say okay. Here you will find you pull it aside and then try doing it. Do you have SQL Server here? It would be directly as a SQL Server only. If you are slowly SQL Server, you click on that SQL Server, right click, and what is the status? It is running only. Server agent. You maximize this tab. So this is SQL Server agent is not running. So start that service. It is disabled, right? You start that service. Refresh. Don't know why it's not.
This SQL workbench got closed by itself. How should I open it now? It's not.
Yeah, you can. What did you do? Why it automatically got? You can reopen that. It is just a developer utility. It's just like you are opening the Spider or anything. So it doesn't have anything there.
Okay, but it's not in the search bar also. Whenever if I give SQL workbench, it is going to the website only.
How come? Make it as automatic. Say okay. And then start. We'll see that, Karthika. We'll see that too.
Huh.
Yeah, you just go to that tool, connect database, new database, new database. Just manage connections. Can you go to manage connections? Test connection is there below. You click on the test connection, so it will tell whether failed to connect MySQL. It is not starting. The server service is not started, and that's creating the problem. Just a second. No, don't. It is there is no problem with the installation as such. It is just that it is not getting started. MySQL SQL server, right? SQL server. I'm just checking how am I start. How is it in my machine? SQL server. Test connection is failing. Can you go to all programs? All apps. Not there. Click on this window button, Madhu. Click on window. Go to MySQL. There will be a MySQL folder. There, click on this MySQL shell. Yeah. Start up something. Start. Oh, you are not getting anything there. Now it got. Remove that and say start. Remove that S. Okay, start is not defined. Now go to that and do the test connection. MySQL. How do I start? Just a second. Where did you install your go to your there you say MySQL D capped all in small letters. Where is your screen? You opened a console, right, Madhu? The command prompt. There is a command prompt kind of thing that got opened now, right? There you type MySQL D. Spaces, nothing. It has nothing to do with the version. It is not saying the version is not correct. It is just saying that the database is down, so it is not able to connect. Now go. Where is your MySQL installed? Maybe in your program files, right? Can you go to your program files? MySQL SQL server. Can you go in there? SQL server. In that, can you go back to that command prompt? I just found another command to start this. We'll see what is happening. MySQL. I'm not looking at your screen. Sorry. MySQL space hyphen u and not underscore hyphen u hyphen not underscore space root space hyphen p. Enter. Unexpected identifier. MySQL is there. Just Oracle is registered and one. Is MySQL running in your machine? Can you restart that MySQL service from services.msc? SQL Server is there, right? SQL Server, SQL Express running. You restart that. That's why I'm asking you to restart everything. SQL Server agent also, you just say yeah. I'm just checking how is it in my machine. SQL Server, SQL. Everything is running now. Now open the SQL workbench and see. Surprisingly, in my services.msc file, I don't see MySQL at all, SQL Server at all, but it's working for me. There is no SQL Server. Maybe some, I doubt. No connection established. Server is not running, unable to connect to local host. Is everybody getting the same problem? Kartika, you are also seeing the same error?
Yeah, one sec. No, for me, table got created just now.
What did you do? You just reopened the workbench.
Yeah, I opened and closed. I closed and opened and ran the query. It got created.
Okay. Now, Madhu, on your machine, right? I can see server status stopped with red button, right? Is that a button? Can you click on that and see? Is it starting or stopping? No change. How will I? Yeah, sure. Can you just scroll down a bit? We'll just see the last thing. In here you have the scroll bar, right? You don't have anything. General logs. Oh man, I don't know why it's not working. Why is it behaving weird? We'll see it later. Okay. Now, you created the table, Kartika. Can you share your screen? We'll see what is that you have.
Yes.
So now you have created this table, right? Okay. Under your schemas, there is under administration, there is schemas also. Below this management, instance, performance, there is administration and schemas tabs on your left hand side, the below box. Let me share. I there is no
It's
object selected. Can you see that? Just scroll below below the
okay.
performance and
Huh.
I mean, come down further.
Okay,
There is
more down.
yeah
Schemas.
yeah.
Okay. Huh,
Now
but
expand this world and under world tables you will see this table.
yeah,
Whatever
employee
table you
understood.
have created, if you open the expand the table, you should be able to see all the columns that you have created.
Okay.
Okay, go to columns, you'll be able to see that. So now
Oh,
you stop sharing, I'll share my screen, I'll explain few things here.
okay.
Everybody able to share it other than Madhu? Everybody facing the same problem. So one thing is that if you guys remember the document which I have shared, in that there is an option while installing the the MySQL server, start on startup. That checkbox should be checked so that whenever you start your machine, the SQL server will automatically get started. Otherwise, you need to manually go to that services file and then fold that services.msc and then you need to start your SQL server. Hope everybody checked that. Okay, now we'll see this. So there, I created only with 3 columns, right? So if I click on this employee details table, you can see under column names, you can see the column names, and also under indexes, you can see the indexes. That is a primary key. What is an index? Index is like, to make the search faster or to retrieve the data faster from the table, MySQL server will automatically create a unique number kind of thing for every row to make the data retrieval faster. That is what we call as indexes. So primary key is an index. So that index is created already. And if are there any foreign keys here? No. Are there any triggers on this table? No. That's why you don't see anything under these sections. You see only columns, and under indexes you can see the primary key as the index.
Like we gave primary key auto increment, no? So that is what it is under indexes?
No. Index is something where every table will have at least one index created. So that if you have say 10,000 records in a particular table, to make the data retrieval faster, these indexes are being created by the MySQL server itself.
Okay.
If you don't, and primary key is one such index. It is very much internal to the SQL server.
Okay. Like if I remove the auto increment, then also indexes under indexes this
will be displayed.
Be there.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the auto increment.
Okay.
Okay, now if you guys see here, I didn't create the employee email address in this table, right? So if I want to add the table, there is another command called alter table world dot employee details, add column. What is the column I want to add? Employee underscore email. What is the data type? Varchar of, let's say, 40. So now I didn't, so you can alter the table also. That means if the table is already there, I can go and modify the table structure through the alter command. So let me execute this. So table command got executed. If I go and refresh this table under columns, you will see the employee underscore email column also. So in future, if you want to extend your table by adding or modifying columns, you can do that using alter table. So under which category this alter table will fall into, data definition or the data manipulation? Manipulation. I expected this answer, but unfortunately that's not the correct answer, because we are not modifying the data, rather we are modifying the table itself, right? The structure. That's why it is called, it will fall into the data definition language category. Table, column to the table, right? So I told you that whatever modifications you make to the data structure, that is like table, they all will fall into the data definition language, right? Whenever you are making changes to a particular row, that will fall into the data manipulation language. Like insertion, you are inserting one particular row into the table, so it will be a data manipulation language category script. Whereas in case of update also, it is data DML command, because you are updating a particular record, one or more records using update query, right? You got it? So if you are playing on data, DML. If you are playing on tables, structures, basically the higher level things, then it will fall into the DDL command. So delete table, delete row will fall into which category?
Data definition language.
Data definition.
Deleting a particular row in a table.
Row, okay. That is data manipulation.
DML. Adding a row to a table.
Adding is also, I think it's DML only.
DML only. So
yeah.
I am updating 100 records, 100 rows using a query. What category they all fall into?
Updating 100 rows. Okay. That is DML, data manipulation, because we are manipulating the data. I mean, doing something correct. With the data.
So, correct. So irrespective of whether you are updating 1 row or 100 rows, if you are updating data, it is DML. If you are modifying the table structure, then it is DDL. Let's say I want to delete a table column. Then DDL, correct. So whenever you are playing on, so you understood the difference, right? Whenever you are playing on the structure of the table, they all will fall into DDL, and whenever you are working on data, then it is DML. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So create table is there, alter table we have seen, and there is another we'll see. So if you want to create a table and if you don't want to remember this, the syntaxes and all, you can directly on the schemas under tables, you can click on this create table, and then you can, it will open a window. Here you can give the table like, department. So column name, my column name is department ID. Integer, is it my primary key? Yes, not null, right? And then I have another column called as department name. Varchar of 45. If you see here, and then I'll say apply. When the moment I say apply, then this table will automatically get created. So you need not write this script as such. It will automatically create. This tool is intelligent enough to create that script and will execute it internally the moment you click on this apply button. Have you noticed one thing here? Whenever you are creating a primary key, we are always saying it as not null, right? If I select this primary key, not null is automatically getting selected, right? But can I have a null in a primary key?
No.
Any other?
Primary key should not be null, I think.
Any other thoughts? The basic point that we have talked is primary key is unique, right? So
unique and not null also, I think.
No,
I'm not sure.
Can have primary key can have one null value.
Okay.
So primary key is not always non-null. You can have a null value. One row can have null in its primary key. Okay. So for now I'll click on not null and we'll say apply changes to object. So if you see here, it automatically generated this script based on that columns data that I have entered in this editor, right? I will say apply and this script will get executed. Finish. If I go and refresh here, the department table is automatically created. So there are ways to do this. Okay, it is not always through the script, but script is the preferred way. We don't create tables like this anywhere. In real world, we will not create tables this way. Why? Any thoughts? Why will we always write this script? Because we will have multiple environments like production. We'll have another. We need to create this table at multiple places. So if you start creating tables like this, then you need to manually create those tables in all those servers, right? Instead, you create this script, copy the script, execute it in all the servers. That's what we do. We don't create tables this way, using this way. But just for your information, I have shown you that. If you are facing any issue with writing the create query, then you can follow that approach. Is that clear? Any questions?
Yeah.
Anybody has any questions? Somebody said something. I'll take it as no. Now I have created a table. Now I want to insert data into the table, right? That's the whole purpose of having the table, right? We want to insert the data. How do I insert the data? There is a command called insert. Insert into table. What is the table I want to insert? Department. Values. What are the values I want to insert? Into department values, department ID and name, right? 0, HR. HR is a varchar. I defined it as varchar. That's why I'm keeping it in insert into. What is it saying? Insert. Insert into table. That's why I have given it the HR being department name being a varchar meaning string. That's why I have given it in single quotes, right? Department is world. Now if I open this department table, right? How can I open this here? Can you guys see this result grid below here? I'm just moving my mouse there. You can see this right here. I have 0 as the department ID and HR as the department name. So that's how we insert the data. To insert the data, we'll say insert into table name, values, and the actual values. Okay.
Yes, sir.
No. It will not automatically create table. It just inserts the data into the department table. We didn't create. I created one previously. It was already created, and I am trying to insert data into the department table. Yeah. So now I want to update this. Oh, instead 0 should have finance, not update HR. How will I do that? Update table world.department. Set department name. What is the department name structure that I have given? Columns DPT underscore name. Department name is equal to finance. Right? Can I write this? The problem with this is it will update all the rows to department name, but I want to update only that row where department ID is 0. So I'll say where department underscore ID is equal to 0. What is the update table? Update table name. I think it is update table. Update table name. You need not give the table. So if you see here, it is show in the action output. If you see here, one row is affected. Changed one row, meaning one row got updated. If I open this department table one more time, you will see finance there. You don't see HR per 0. That's how we update the data. So we saw create, alter table, insert and update commands. Any questions on these things?
No, sir.
Are you all clear on this? Everyone. So tomorrow I'll pick each one of you and will ask you to show at least one table that we have that you guys have created with at least 3 rows. We need data in those tables because tomorrow we'll cover the we'll cover the joins. So at least 3 rows need to be inserted in each table. Okay, so I'll pick up, as I'm doing every day, I'll pick up one person and will ask them to share the screen and will show me the table. And tomorrow for sure I'll not ask Madhu. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Sure. Any other questions, guys? If not, then we can call it a day. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.